Begins the last part of our program right here on NewsHour, broadcast you live from Beijing, and it's all about the Olympics, of course. The first dress rehearsal for the opening ceremony of the Beijing Summer Games has taken place inside the National Stadium. We can't tell you what happened because no one caught a glimpse of what was going on inside because the rehearsal was held behind closed doors and also under tight security. 3 layers of fencing and an army of security guards on 24-hour patrol are encircling the bird's nest, with the gates to all the fences locked from the outside. This makes the bird's nest the most heavily protected area in the Olympic green zone. In order to cater to the strict security of the opening ceremony, special features have been added to the construction near the National Stadium from both above and underground. Construction workers making final touches to the stadium's roof have all signed confidentiality agreements to keep the opening ceremony a big surprise. Here's a man who knows all about the opening ceremony. The splendor of every Olympic Games begins, of course, with the opening. Organizers in Beijing have entrusted internationally acclaimed Chinese film director Zhang Yimou with a daunting mission of offering the world an enthralling and memorable opening ceremony. Several dress rehearsals, as we said, have now been scheduled ahead of the big night, but Zhang Yimou and his team remain tight-lipped about the details. He says he wants to keep everyone in suspense and to keep suspense whirling around the event until the very last moment.
This is the operation center of the opening and closing ceremonies of the Beijing Olympic Games. Talking about the much anticipated performance, Zhang Yimou steers clear of any specific details. But he says he and his team are fully aware that the ceremony should be a perfect blend of sports and art. To reach the goal, they want to present China's long history through a unique perspective.
China's 5,000 years of civilization is splendid. There is no doubt about it. But we can only offer the world a brief display. We are not supposed to turn the ceremony into a history lesson. In a word, the ceremony has to be memorable, pleasant, and touching. This is our starting point.
The huge success of the Athens Olympics puts a lot of pressure on Zhang and his team, but it's also inspiring.
We have to say the opening ceremony of the 2004 Athens Olympic Games opened up a new aesthetic angle. It breaks away from many traditional approaches like group rhythmic gymnastics. The visual impact of the opening ceremony is simply cool.
We have more than 5,000 years of history and a lot of wide-ranging stories. This is of course an advantage, but in the meantime, it's also a big challenge, especially in selecting, rediscovering, generalizing and presenting these resources.
Many critics say the success of Athens largely lies in the innovative use of storytelling techniques in presenting its myths and traditions. Chinese artists are facing the same task. The whole world is looking forward to how Chinese artists will tell this story about China for the Olympics. Liam, CCTV.
Less than a month to go, 28 days to be exact, until the start of the Olympic Games on August 8th, 2008. Now the host city is aiming to display great vitality and a brand new image ahead of the big event. Beijing has decorated the entire city with flowers to welcome guests from home and afar. Key areas surrounding the Olympic stadiums, gyms and other facilities have been revitalized, trees have been planted and different kinds of floral arrangements have been set up to illustrate an oriental culture. The Beijing Botanic Garden is also staging a world flower exhibition called the 5 Rings Linking the 5 Continents. The event showcases exotic scenery with more than 1 million plants of different varieties from home and abroad. Now organizers say these flowers will be tended to with great care, ensuring that they'll continue to blossom for about 2 months after the Olympics.
I've been to Beijing a few times, but I think this is the most beautiful summer I've seen. The air is fresh, environment is pleasant, and forestation is good. There is a rich Olympic atmosphere.
The flowers are not just the only preparation. Security has been tightened throughout China. Of course, Beijing is not the only Olympic host city. Yang Shanshan tells us more about Beijing's efforts, though, to ensure the safety of these Summer Games.
The police are checking a car at a checkpoint. Various types of equipment are employed to detect the dangerous materials, and the dogs are also used to find explosives. Drivers and the passengers have to show their ID cards. Hundreds of these kinds of checkpoints have been set up at all entrances to the capital city.
We will check every car and every person to ensure a secure environment for the Beijing Olympics.
The public has expressed their support for the measures, despite the long waiting time caused by the 3-minute check of each car.
We accept this. I mean, it's for the Beijing Olympics. This is not a bad thing. It will help ensure everybody's safety.
No chances are being taken in public places, with bag checks now routine on Beijing's subway system. All migrants residing in Beijing are also required to be registered at the local public security bureaus. Measures have also been taken near major Olympic venues. Not far from the tightly guarded National Stadium or Bird's Nest, 2 ground missiles have been installed to prevent any airstrikes. Security is always a key issue for all Olympic host cities, and with over 100,000 anti-terrorism police deployed and 500,000 volunteers serving in security roles during the Games, the 2008 Olympic host hopes all its efforts will guarantee a peaceful event. Yang Shen, CCTV.
And with the 2008 Olympics just 4 weeks away now, Beijing is making last-minute preparations. As Deng Wei tells us, local authorities are making full efforts to ensure a better environment and energy saving.
The Beijing Municipal Commission of Development and Reform said on Thursday it has launched various measures to reduce energy consumption. These include developing service sectors like software and finance and boosting industrial upgrades. Meanwhile, it has asked Shougang Group, the city's key steel maker, to move into a neighboring province. It has also closed a series of high-energy consumption enterprises, and it has been encouraging all social forces to contribute to energy saving.
We have invested 30 million yuan to encourage the use of over 2 million energy-saving lamps. So far, they've all been used in public service areas such as schools and subways.
The local economic watchdog is also vowing to put another 5 million energy-saving lamps into use before July 30th. They will help save over 200 million degrees of electricity, that's equivalent of saving more than 80,000 tons of standard coal. Regarding pollution from vehicle emissions, Beijing authorities said they have renovated 50,000 taxis and buses, and another 4,000 environmentally friendly buses have also been introduced.
We are also considering setting up a special fund for energy saving. Besides, we'll make full efforts to encourage enterprises to take on their social responsibility of saving energy.
In addition, designers and maintainers of Olympic venues have also both gone all out to protect the city's environment.
While we design the main press center, we do not consider an adorable appearance, but also its energy-saving capability. For example, its wall construction has adopted low energy consumption technologies.
The Chinese government has put forward Green Olympics as one of the 3 themes for 2008 Olympic Games. It's aimed to use preparation as a catalyst to enhance the sustainable, coordinated development of the economy and the whole society. It's also in a bid to raise the public awareness of protecting the environment. Deng Wei, CCTV.
Exciting news indeed. The